on tonight's show.
He's downstairs, he's downstairs.
The race is on for police in Torquay. In Plymouth, a suspected drug dealer gets a rude awakening.
Surrounding was like freaking out of there.
The Southwark Task Force take out a drug den.
Hey! Why are you holding me up?
Lewisham police have their hands full.
Spread your legs.
And they tell it how it is.
Because you were a prat.
In Swansea, an unexpected wake-up call. Police come knocking after a theft in Oldham.
Get down here now and open this door. Now!
And police give chase after a violent robbery. Every hour, 78 burglaries are committed in the UK. That's one every 46 seconds. The police are fighting hard to stay one step ahead. As they wage the war on crime, cops with cameras has joined them in a way that's never been done before. The police have agreed to wear specially adapted cameras to show us how they tackle theft head on. 60% of all thefts are drug motivated. So taking out the dealers is vital. Sergeant Mike Hope and PC Marcus Sleeman are about to raid the home of a suspected drug dealer in Plymouth.
Drugs obviously relate to theft in the fact that, you know, to feed the drug habit, your user has to find the cash to acquire these drugs. So that could be simple shoplifting, theft, car crime, vehicle theft, burglaries, any way they can make money to buy their drugs.
This time, the element of surprise is paramount to prevent drug evidence being disposed of. There'll be no warning. A reinforced door has slowed down entry. Has important evidence been destroyed?
Let's see your hands.
Put that dog in a cage.
Yeah.
That dog.
Anybody else in here?
No, like,
Any lights?
Lights off.
I'm just going to put these on for my own safety and your safety, OK?
Keep nice and calm. Keep standing for a second.
Please don't restrict me, because I really do hate being puffed up like this.
That's all right.
I was like freaking out in there.
Well, I'm just going to have a go, look.
No,
nice and calm.
that's fine, thank you.
All right, no problem.
Dad, you know what I'm like? I hate being freaked out.
All right, just grab it nice and calm, nice and cool. Calm down, mate, all right? We're not going to rough you up or anything like that, all right? They've initially been arrested on suspicion of possession of controlled drugs, but it depends on what we find during the remainder of the search, whether the quantity of drugs we find and paraphernalia, cash, etc., could lead to a successful prosecution for supplying drugs.
The mail has indicated in there that there's some car stereos in there. We'll be looking, obviously, for any other stolen property.
It's 9 AM in Torquay, and Sergeant Richard Hooper Bennett is leading a raid on a suspect address.
What we're going to be doing this morning is we're going to an address in the Heel area of Torquay. We've drawn a warrant under Section 26 of the Theft Act, and we'll see what we find when we get there. We do have a warrant to search the whole premises.
PC Stuart Moore will be first into the property, and he's been fitted with our police body cam.
Let's go get it done. I'm hoping that we don't have to force the door. However, previous experience tells me that we will have to use our famous big red key today.
The big red key, aka the Enforcer, is a tool used by police to break down doors.
Police, open up! It's the police. We have a warrant under the Theft Act. Please come to the door. It's your last chance. Please open the door.
Richard is now left with no option but to use the Enforcer.
I've got him there. He's not here. Where is he? He's not here.
The main person we were looking for wasn't present when we came in.
No, he's not here. He's not here.
However, another male was, who was mentioned at a briefing earlier, who was also arrestable for several offences. One of my colleagues has arrested that male. Because the entry's gained on warrant, we've got the power to search the rest of the flat anyway. So we'll be searching for any evidence or any of the offences that we are investigating.
Coming up, in Plymouth, £50,000 worth of drugs are sniffed out.
I better seize the whole bag.
Southwark police rushed to a tower block to question suspects.
What exactly have you got in there?
And in Oldham, a late-night visit to a suspected thief. It's early morning in Swansea. Sergeant Matthew Codd is briefing his team.
Thanks for coming. Operation Dollar is part of an ongoing drive by G Division to combat drug dealing and handlers of stolen goods. Information has been received that a number of persons that we will be targeting today are actively involved in the supply of controlled drugs and the handling of stolen property. Come on. Yeah, we're going down to an address in Baglan first off, so obviously we'll be quite switched on for that because there's a male there who's quite a large individual. Come on. The worst that can happen for us is obviously that we can't gain entry to the property. But obviously, looking a bit laterally, that somebody does get injured, that's my main priority. Make sure that obviously all the officers here are fit and well at the end of the tour of duty.
The occupier of the first address is known to police, and they're fully kitted out to deal with any level of threat. Last year, millions of pounds worth of stolen goods were sold in South Wales. The police are fighting a constant battle. Several officers pounce on the target. He's extremely strong. They can't take any risks.
You're a warrant to search your premises, we have.
Where?
That? Under Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act.
Right.
Drugs. First thing I got to ask you now, right, obviously, we're going to make sure that this premise is searched, right? Are there any items here which shouldn't be here to start off with?
Yeah, no.
And we found one person, obviously he's quite a large gentleman, put up a little bit of a resistance. Again, you know, a lot of it is down to the fact that it's early morning, he doesn't know exactly who we are, this is why, you know, loud verbal commands and things like that. But obviously, we gained compliance. And then in the living room, there's 4 other persons, so that wasn't so much of a problem. So 5 in a small premises can cause us some problems, but fortunately everyone's all right and nobody's been injured. So we've got to contain now, and then we'll go about searching it and do the next one.
Whilst the search gets underway, Matthew's team moves on to the next address. In Torquay, Richard is still missing his main suspect. One man was found on the balcony, so the search starts there.
The likelihood is that he's put something either over the balcony or into the balcony next door.
Strange place to keep a video recorder. Have that one. World's smallest cannabis plants.
As with many theft-related searches, evidence of drug use is found.
I found a small amount of cannabis resin here. It's doubtful whether we'll take any action because of the seriousness of the other offences we're looking at, such as burglary and theft.
Stewart's found something else potentially incriminating.
The driving licence is another person. I'm not aware of it, but it's in another town as well. So I've asked them to check that out, and hopefully they'll get back with an answer whether it's been involved in a burglary recently or a theft.
The other items that we will be taking away is we have had a skybox stolen from one of the burglaries. But this could be evidence enough in itself, because fortunately this is barcoded, so if we can trace where the original was bought from, we might be able to link it that way. Good evidence.
There's still no news on the missing suspect. Then suddenly, an unexpected sighting.
Our research is back, isn't it? Downstairs, sorry.
You're under arrest on suspicion of deception, theft and burglary. Do you understand that? Burglary? This is what I'm saying to you, right? You don't have to say anything that may harm your defence. You don't mention when questioned somebody later on in court, anything you do to me or giving evidence. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Right, I'm just going to take you upstairs.
Just to let you know, we're executing a warrant at your home address under Section 26 of the Theft Act. We're looking property stolen from a burglary, a couple of shopliftings, and a couple of offences of deception. Right, let's get them out of here. At the moment, both persons have been arrested, both on suspicion of theft and both on suspicion of a burglary. The main offences we're looking at are thefts and deceptions, i.e. thefts of credit cards and the deceptions by the subsequent uses. Also thefts from shops and thefts from people in the street.
Back in Plymouth, the raid's been a success. They've made 2 arrests, found weapons, drugs and suspected stolen goods. As the search intensifies, new well-hidden evidence comes to light.
I was just looking at the conduit here. That's got like a hollow end to it. And as I placed my fingers into it just to see what was in there, I also found a tissue, pulled that out, and then I'm looking further, right up there. From down here I could see there was a key and a key fob. It's obviously a vehicle key of some sort.
We believe this vehicle parked at the front here is linked to the address, so with a bit of luck it may... and it does. That. So we'll now be asking the question as to why the person felt the need to hide their key away so that it couldn't be connected to the vehicle.
Handler Eddie Anning brings his dog to check the car. The dog appears to be interested in the boot.
Oh, good girl. Good girl.
The initial discovery is impressive. It's a substantial amount of cannabis.
What else we got? Yeah. Oh, hello. Got some more of our off-white rock.
The concealed key has unlocked a major cache.
See what's in the big pocket, Jesse?
Eddie cannot believe the scale of his find.
In the same rucksack, in the top pocket, it's obviously a Tupperware container, which has got some more yellow powder of some kind. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, Christ. I think I better seize the whole bag. This is a huge amount of drugs.
It's a staggering result. They found drugs with a street value of £50,000.
She's been working now for the last sort of 9 years as a police dog, and she's had numerous finds of varying amounts. But I would say this is one of her best finds she's had. She'll learn her win a lot tonight, Jessie, won't you? Good girl, good girl.
By running this sort of operation, it sends out a message to those engaged in criminality that if they do it at their own risk. And at the end of the day, it was this door today, but it could be somebody else's tomorrow.
It's an ongoing fight all the time against crime. You know, all we can do is keep chipping away.
Back in Wales, while the first suspects are booked into custody, Matthew's team head to the second address.
This warrant is going to be the same as the last one. Obviously, misuse of drugs warrant. Again, it's going to be a hard and fast entry to the premises. Although intelligence would suggest that the people on the address are a slightly lower level of threat than the last address, but obviously we can't take that for granted to go in and treat everyone as on their merit as we go through the door. Let's go.
It's suspected these premises are used for drug dealing and storing stolen property. With the cover of night fading, Matthew's team moves in.
alright if I send them off, so 2 doors down again and like that.
Any drugs here? Any stolen property before we start? Are you sure? Have you been in trouble with the police lately?
No.
Officers begin the search. Downstairs, evidence of drug use has been found.
The brown residue here is where they burnt the heroin. They smoke it then, and there's other ways to do it, inject it, or... So the foil is obviously evidence of that.
Do you understand what you're under arrest for already?
Under arrest for what? Oh, syringes in the back.
Yeah, well, obviously you've been using controlled drugs, you see.
What?
So I'm not going to speak to you about it now, all right? Do you understand why you're under arrest and you're under caution? All right, do you wish to make any reply to that? No? OK. Do you want to put some clothes on, Beth?
The man is led away to custody, where he can be questioned further.
Obviously, we believe that these persons are connected to the theft of items in and around the Neath and Talbot area, and also the handling of stolen goods. These come hand in hand with drug misuse. So obviously, whether we actually recover stolen property today is irrelevant, as it sends out the clear message that we will take positive action against this type of behaviour.
In the London Borough of Southwark, PCs Andy MacDonald and Phil Stone are part of the Specialist Task Force, who are about to execute a search warrant, led by an undercover officer.
Premises is quite well known to East Dulwich sector, and to quite a few officers, a number of people that attend the address, causing problems, leaving drugs paraphernalia on the footwells, out in the street, causing problems with the crime rate, cars being broken into, stolen, etc. It goes on. Local community have sort of just about had enough now. They want something done about the address.
It's suspected that stolen goods have been traded at the premises for drugs.
This time of year with the school holidays, all of these people that are taking drugs have got to obviously purchase them. Wherever you've got drug supply, either a crack house or places where people are purchasing drugs, other crimes within that local area will also rise, such as shoplifting, theft and robbery. We all enjoy this part of the job. It's what we're trained to do, and we get on and deal with it.
PC Jim Scott will be first in the flat and is wearing our body cam to give us front-line access. The target address is on the 5th floor. The team have to move in quickly. All 4 occupants are detained.
He does. Come out, right. Don't wash your dog, he bites.
All right, mate.
Gov, can I just warn you, there's needles
There's
and
needles around.
paraphernalia everywhere.
OK. All right, thanks for your cooperation, all right? The occupant of the address is obviously he's been detained. He's in handcuffs at the moment. He's very kindly told us, as his own free will, that there are drugs paraphernalia within the address. That means needles, obvious signs of usage.
Smart tenancy.
Yeah, but you know what they say in your tenancy?
Well, Gov, you know what, right? I've spoke to my housing officer.
Yeah.
And she's actually getting me a move, because I've had so much hassle up there with people coming up.
Everything appears to be under control. But the door buzzer reveals there's some unexpected visitors. Coming up, a 5-floor dash to snare a suspect. Sheffield officers hunt for a burglar. And a dramatic police chase on foot. In Lewisham, PC Dean Harding and his team are out on patrol.
One of the priorities in Lewisham at the moment is suffering greatly from motor vehicle crime, including stolen motor vehicles, theft from motor vehicles. This is what we're looking for.
They get a call from a motorcycle unit about a suspicious car.
One of our units on the motorcycle has put up that he wants assistance in stopping the motor vehicle. It's got a couple of occupants with blacked out windows. The officer feels suspicious. We're going to make our way to him now and give him assistance doing the stop.
Vehicle crime costs London £1 billion a year, so Met officers are constantly doing proactive stop checks on cars.
What's the vehicle details, Dan?
The car seen coming towards them. They get on its tail to put in the stop.
Hello mate, how you doing? Nothing to worry about.
Motorcycle officer Dan Hatton arrives on the scene.
You got no brake lights working apart from the top one? Just your motor, mate? Yeah? Come and have a chat with me. What's your name, fella? What? What's your name? Just spell that for me, mate.
You and you.
Hang on. Back up.
Stop.
Start birth, Ricky. You got any idea on you, Ricky? Is the car registered to you? It's not registered to you. You got insurance? It will show me on the vehicle check, so just be honest. You have got insurance. Who's it with?
Oh, blood. Shocking.
Do you have insurance, Ricky?
Yes. I'd take those details in.
Dean runs checks on the driver and the car.
Can you run it through the driving licence computer for me, please?
Police now can find out on the spot if the car's not registered or insured.
Give me that. We're not attacking you. Who's attacking you? Just see if it's got insurance out.
The man's details aren't checking out.
Say that again about not getting a hit.
Dean's getting suspicious.
You ain't got a licence, have you? That's the thing now, fella, yeah? We've got a couple of offences. You ain't got a licence, you ain't got insurance, yeah? So we now need to know who you are so we can put you to the court. Right. The vehicle's registered to somewhere completely different. It's insured by somebody in Bristol. We're not entirely convinced you are who you say you are. Because of these reasons, we're going to search the vehicle for any evidence of the fact the car could be stolen or anything like that.
Everyone's patience is running low, and the situation starts to heat up. In Southwark, Phil and Jim are waiting to see who wants to get into the drug den. 5 floors up, they'll have to move fast.
Yeah, roll down. Down.
Both the suspects are known to police.
No.
The male admits to just swallowing a lump of crack cocaine, but his friend still tries to cover for him.
The thing is, he started swallowing drugs. You know what I mean? So...
No, he was swallowing a tablet that I gave him.
No, he just told us that he swallowed one, okay?
Told me he swallowed a rock.
All right. Well, I don't know, I gave him a tablet.
Right,
I'll put it out, that's all cut.
It's all right, you can have it back. Didn't know it was a woman, mate.
He has epilepsy fits. I
don't have nothing to do with you. Don't speak for me again.
The man's cooperating. Officers take the cuffs off so he can open the car up for them to search.
We suspect they are going to the dress. So we've got this said before, it's probably not...
tax.
Yeah, it's lovely. Thanks, Aaron. Probably not actually used as a dealing address, probably more of a flop, as we call it, a flop house, where users come to actually do the drugs.
What it is, Gov, they're just using the house as a drug den, you know, they're just coming up. I was just saying to your colleague, I come home, Gov, the door, there's no lock on it. You know, I'm walking and there's people like using, and it's just doing...
People that you know, people you don't know?
They're not... They're just like drug acquaintances, yeah, do you know what I mean?
So you're not getting pressure from your dealer to use your address or anything like that?
No, no dealing, Gov, absolutely not, no. They've offered, but I've said no.
Outside, they found a baseball bat, but it's not an arrestable offence. Both the suspects are allowed to go.
So they're probably just coming up to do what they were going to do and then leave. They are known to us.
All it is just using, Gov. There's no dealing, there's no...
Certainly not by you, that's what you're saying.
No, Gov, absolutely not, absolutely. I mean, Gov, look, you can see the chicken skin.
There's nothing of you, is there?
state. I mean,
You
well,
might
like I
think
say,
I don't wanna go down that line.
I'm going in a rehab and I'm getting out of here. I don't know, it's...
Enough said.
Jesus Christ, I wouldn't like one of them in here, would
My
you?
calling card. Okay, Mema.
All right.
Thanks for your cooperation.
Okay.
Take care. See you, Aaron.
With no evidence of dealing, no arrests are made.
I think that was to suggest that there were stolen goods inside the address. Having spoken to the occupier, his main claim to saying that he comes about his possession of drugs is really by allowing others to use his address. The number of needles and other drugs paraphernalia inside the address leads me to believe that he's probably telling the truth there.
Each year, drug users steal over £2 billion worth of goods to cater for their habits. Back in Lewisham, the truth is starting to come out, but Dean still can't get the man's correct details.
Now it's not your car, but you bought it 2 weeks ago.
I told you, I didn't say 2 weeks.
No, it's just too many lies, right?
It's
You're
too
in the
many
car,
lies,
we
yeah.
can't prove it's yours.
So we're going to search the vehicle.
Searching the car's going to be searched as well,
That's
okay?
my brother's.
You understand?
Okay, just...
Let go of my hand.
The situation has escalated.
I'm not doing nothing. Let go of my hand, boss. Why are you holding me up for? Let go of me. I'm not doing it.
Without knowing the man's history, the officers can't take any risks.
It's being detained for the purpose of search, Ricky. It's been explained.
Let go, man. I'm calm. Boss, I'm calm. Look,
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
No.
Put your arm round now. Put your arm round.
That's it. Put in.
I'm hurting.
They go to bed.
Now calm down, yeah?
My arm is
You're
hurting.
not going anywhere now, calm down.
Now he's detained, other officers can search the car.
Move your legs. Stand that
Face the wall, spread your legs.
Boss, there's no need for that. There's no need for
Okay,
that.
if you calm down,
There's no need for it.
our
I'm
actions
calm.
calm down,
I'm
right?
calm.
So
I'm
be
calm.
cool. Ricky, start
I'm
telling us
calm,
the
boss.
truth.
What we're doing at the moment, obviously, due to the driver can't confirm his identity. He's confirmed that he's got no driving licence, no insurance. We're not happy with his identity at the moment. Due to now he's playing up, he's just been told we believe that there's items in this car, so we're searching it on Section 1 of Payson Line, possibly stolen items. What I'm doing at the moment is we've now got power to check IMEI cards on phones, just to see if they're proceeds of a robbery or anything like that.
Police take a proactive approach to checking mobile phones, as over 320 are stolen each day.
Saying isn't right here, Ricky, is it?
Alright, boss, let go, man. You think I'm doing anything? I'm standing up, boss. Can you let go? Can you move your knee from my knee and let me stand up more?
You're going to bring it down a peg?
I'm going to bring it down.
You're going to bring it down a peg? I'll take my knee.
We'll calm
Please.
down a bit, yeah?
Can you see my arm?
Can you listen to me?
Alright, look,
Calm down.
Look, my arm.
No, wait.
My arm.
Calm down
See
and
my
now be
arm,
off.
my left arm.
I'm checking for
I
it.
don't mind. See
Yeah?
the left arm?
They're fine.
It's seriously, I cannot move it. It's numbing up.
So why lie? Why the madness? You wanted?
Boss, I'm not wanted. Check it. You.
Well, why not tell me the truth from the off then?
This other one is tight.
Listen, so far, we're just sticking you on for no insurance and licence stuff, yeah?
Alright, thank you.
Any more funny business and you will be nicked for a public order offence. Listen to me, Ricky, understand. Understand. Any more messing about, you will be nicked.
Okay.
Good.
Officers eventually find a court document with the man's details. He admits his real identity.
Look, that's me there.
That's him, we've got it confirmed now.
No, just give us the right name to begin with. Stop all this madness right from the start. Everything's you bought upon yourself.
You're not going to drive the car now,
I'll park it up and I'll make the owner come and get it.
No,
let's go park it up.
The man will be put before the court. As day falls tonight, PC's Andy Swettenham and Jamie Pickervance begin their shift patrolling the streets of Oldham.
Just had a call literally a minute or two ago from a resident. She's seen a group of kids pushing wheelie bins. It's just a bit odd at approaching 1 o'clock in the morning.
The police have had a tip-off that the gang may be using the wheelie bins to transport stolen goods. Andy and Jamie head to Wasteland, where they were last seen.
At this stage, we're just currently doing a bit of a search to see if we can find any bins. If they're going to dump them, they are going to dump them, obviously, in and around this area. So we'll just continue our little bit of a search and then leave it at that. Nothing, mate. Nothing.
Then, a new lead.
An informant's phoned up to say that they've seen a couple of lads pushing wheelie bins, which look like contain boxes inside. another van crew that's been up has actually come across the wheelie bin. He's just informed us that he's possibly got a house contained with likely offenders and a raft of stolen goods actually in the property at the time. There's quite a few of us now making it up there.
When Jamie and Andy arrive at the house, officers are removing what's turned out to be boxes of children's toys.
Myself and my colleague, VCR, who's inside, have done a search of the area on foot and recovered some empty wheelie bins covered in mud outside this address here. We've sort of put two and two together. As a result of that, we've made inquiries with the occupants of the premises, who've both now been arrested on suspicion of burglary.
Andy has a hunch where the toys came from.
There's a mill in Leeds around there, which possibly could be from there.
Two girls are taken from the house for further questioning. They've provided the police with new leads, and it appears they were storing the boxes for someone else. Andy and Jamie head off to the mill to see if they can locate a break-in. Southwark in south-east London is one of the busiest stations in the capital. PC's Stefan Rule and Simon Brown are on the night shift.
We're basically just flooding the area and just doing it. We can stop and speak to and just arrest as many people as possible, basically, and get them out to the community and reassure the community.
954 receiving.
They receive a call concerning an address nearby.
Yeah, they're on the top floor of the block of flats. It looks like they've been trying some of the doors. The description I thought was 291 males, one of them wearing a black hat and one with a black top on which is over.
We're there now, we'll have a look.
They're safe as well. Yeah, it's coming in commercial way.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Are you living up here?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet? Right, is it that you're looking for somewhere to live? Yeah.
The men claim to be squatters, but Simon's not convinced.
What it is, somebody's obviously seen you trying the doors and they're worried that you're breaking in.
No.
Because a lot of these are obviously empty.
Anything is locked.
What are you worrying me with there, boss? Just what exactly have you got in there? Because that's nice and metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, basically, you've been seen going around trying to open doors, you've got a crowbar in your hand. Basically, I'm arresting you for going equipped, okay, because you've got this on you and people have seen you trying to get into the properties. All right? So we're going to go to Peckham, so you're not going far, and we'll deal with it from there, all right? You got anything sharp in your pockets? I think you're up here up to something you shouldn't be with a crowbar, okay?
But sometimes I need the tools for work, yeah?
He seems to think it's normal to carry his work tools at night.
There's nothing wrong to take a tool and going somewhere else, or to help somebody to give them a crowbar, yeah?
Right, if you want to follow me then, boss.
He's very much for going equipped. He obviously believes that he's got that crowbar to try and break into one of the flats here.
The suspect is cuffed and led away. 3 miles away in South London, PC Dean Harding and the Lewisham Borough Support Unit have been called to a job.
Nothing but free wire down the lift down the way past the venue. We're now going to a call where it would appear an elderly lady has found a burglar in her address. It would appear the burglar's pushed her to the floor and made off from the premises. So now it's just a case of getting as many units as we can to the area, to the victim, get as much information as we can and try and head him into an area and catch him.
PC Colin Cooper is wearing our specially adapted camera.
There's a lot of things we deal with, but one of the things that sickens me the most is this sort of crime when they pick on vulnerable elderly people. They're generally young guys like ourselves. The elderly person hasn't got a chance. And it sickens us, and we really give it that a little bit more to catch the guys, if you know what I mean, because we're personally driven. Who's that there?
As they approach the scene, they spot someone acting suspiciously.
I'll have a word with him. He's moving off.
Yeah, when we finish our rest.
He's running!
As Colin catches up, the suspect is clearly visible on his chest camera.
your arm up.
Bring your arm up.
Bring your arm up now. Arm up. Arm up.
This time, running away was futile. The suspect has just made it harder for himself.
We're in the vicinity where the burglary has taken place. The suspect's description was circulated as a white male, around 6 foot tall, wearing dark clothing. In fairness, this lad is wearing a light top. He isn't quite 6 foot, bearing in mind the victim's 93. We've got to take into account various discrepancies in that. On seeing us, he tried to look away. Seeing me open the door, he immediately ran for it. I've got to assume, because of the vicinity, because of the description, because of what's happened, he's definitely either involved in the burglary or there is another offence yet to be found out.
Coming up.
What are you doing?
Open this door, now!
No stones left unturned in the hunt for the Oldham toy thieves.
Police! You're too old for this.
And in Lewisham, some home truths.
Because you were a prat.
PC's Helen Medlam and Dave Whittle take to the road in Sheffield, where theft crime is 54% above the national average. Their first calls come through.
At the minute we've had a report of a burglary in progress. It's a community centre nearby, so we're just going to go there and have a look and find out what's happening. There may be some people on the premises still, not far away.
Suspects could still be inside. Dave and Helen are on guard.
So wait for Blair. Let's keep outside and wait for Blair.
They call for assistance.
Hey. We'll go back outside. I've got a dog man.
PC Blair Crump arrives with a police dog to take up the search. Blair shouts a warning. There's no reply. As the dog searches inside, Helen secures the exits.
We've done a search of the premises with the dog. He's not indicating the presence of persons at this time. We're going to make a search around the perimeter of the building. There's some open fields at the back. We're going to see if we can pick a track up, maybe where the offenders have made a good bit of escape.
The premises are under renovation. Building materials and power tools are popular with thieves. They can be easily sold on. The scent leads Blair outside and into the undergrowth.
The inside of the building's certainly clear. The dog's searched and we've done it physically now, so we're quite sure there's no one inside. The dog has picked a bit of a track up from the back of the premises, which is looped round probably 200 yards into this overgrown area. The dog's been into it and searched it, just in case there's any persons laid up or property abandoned, but that's a negative at this time. So it's a dead end at this moment in time. It'll be crimed and further inquiries made.
As the council repair the broken window, Helen makes a report. For now, nothing else can be done but to continue with their shift. There are over 4,500 burglaries in Sheffield each year. Around 3/4 go unsolved. In Oldham, Andy and Jamie are continuing their investigation into the toy thieves. They've arrived at the mill, hoping to find further evidence.
Pretty sure it is going to be a break from either these premises or maybe even one of the wagons.
They've already arrested 2 girls and recovered some of the stolen goods. Andy is working on a hunch that the mill is where the theft took place.
Recovered some empty wheelie bins.
Officers soon discover they're on the right track.
I believe they've actually broken into the vehicle compound through this particular area here. You can see behind there the stack of further property that's gone from this break.
A lorry is found. And with additional boxes stashed nearby, it appears the gang were planning to return for more. In total, officers have recovered 60 boxes of toys with a retail value of nearly £3,000.
So it's turned out quite a good job, quite a lot of property that's been taken. Obviously, if we can get everyone in, who's any names that are brought in, then happy days.
The police have just been given 3 names.
The address which we're currently going to go to now, there's a strong possibility that all three likely offenders could be at this one address. The names have been brought up by the two females that have already been arrested for it, so we're going to attend it and hopefully all three could be there.
You see any movement, Steve? Look at the top, look at the top.
Andy and Jamie are convinced there are people inside. Could they be hiding something or someone?
Get down here and open the door. Get down here, open the door, or it will go in.
Jamie, going down with me?
Yep, no worries.
Open the door!
Get down here, open the door! Get down here now! Get down here now and open this door. Now!
Right, stop. Come in. What are you doing? Back door.
Back door.
Finally, the officers are let inside. They immediately identify a man as one of the three named suspects.
As I said, it's taken a long time to answer that door, so in my opinion, he's been trying to hide something.
Jamie's drawn a blank, but he remains convinced that the other two male suspects could be hiding away, and there's still one more place to look.
Who's in the loft? Nobody's in the loft. Right. It's final chance, mate. Who else is up here? Police!
If the suspect's lying, additional charges are heading his way.
Come in, looking for 2, 3, 4 minutes. Did you out? We've got a damn good look round. We can't find anything, though, unfortunately. So, you win some, you lose some.
Suspect that we've been looking for is in there. So at this stage, he's under arrest and he's on his way back to the station.
The search will continue for the other two suspects, but for now, 1 out of 3 is a good result. The man is arrested on suspicion of theft from a vehicle.
Just nip back to the station, see if there's any property, anything like that needs booking in. Anyone needs hand anywhere else. Failing that, we're done.
What's the score, geezer? Huh? What's the score? What are you running for? I got weed on me.
Weed?
Yeah.
Why run for weed?
Because I don't think it cool.
In Lewisham, the man is being questioned.
Running.
PC's Dean Harding and Colin Cooper chased him, following a call to find a violent robber.
On the floor.
He claims he ran away because he had cannabis in his pocket. As more police arrive on the scene, information filters through with a clear description of the robber.
How old are you, fella? You're 18? You're too old for this.
The robber's in his 40s. Dean's got the wrong man.
If you haven't got any previous possession of drugs, I'm not going to arrest you this time. Well, you take your details. We put on a report to say that we're stopped you and seized drugs off here. So if you get caught with drugs on you again, you're going to get arrested. You realise that, yeah?
We're here not looking for practical cannabis. We're here looking for a burglar who's just burgled a 93-year-old lady. You running like that made me think it was you. You have now took up to 6 police officers away from looking for that suspect, a serious offender, because you are a prat. Think about it next time you do it.
In Torquay, the men were fined for possession of a stolen licence and cautioned for cannabis. Following the drugs bust in Plymouth, both men were later jailed for 18 months for supply. In Southwark, the man with the crowbar admitted criminal damage and received a caution. In Oldham, the 2 females were questioned and released without charge. The man and 2 others were given a range of community service and suspended sentences for theft and handling stolen goods. The driver in Lewisham was charged for having no licence or insurance, but was found not guilty at Magistrates' Court. no arrests have been made for the break-in at Sheffield. In South Wales, suspicious substances were seized from the first address, but no further action was taken. Despite evidence of drugs found in the flat, the man at the second address was released without charge. And in Lewisham, police are still looking for the robber of an elderly woman.
For some of the heaviest people in the world, there's one final lifeline, but making the most of it is all about hard work. We're back in the Half-Ton Hospital next tonight. Over on ITV2, who'd have thought shopping would be hard work? There's a big twist in store in Wag's Boutique. Don't forget you can also catch it an hour later on ITV2+1. And on ITV3, it's Northern Lights.